Hello, everybody. You are now listening to the Overflow Podcast with Jae and Joaquin. High 8:30 chicken wings.
Okay.
As always, this is Joaquin.
This is Jay.
And we are so glad that you joined us today. We've got, stuff to talk about, things to pontificate upon. And we're going to be very loquacious,
Whatever.
eloquacious
Sure.
today. So before we start, I want to give everybody a shout out. Happy late 4th of July. Because that was last week.
Word.
And, we did stuff. Did you guys do anything for 4th of July?
Didn't do a thing.
Oh, Jay hates America. That's all I hear. And I didn't either. I worked.
You can hear what you want to hear. I didn't do a dang thing. You were home. You were chilling.
So you did something.
4th of
did nothing.
July came on a weekday.
It always comes on a weekday, doesn't it?
No, it moves around. So
It's like
kids,
Thanksgiving. It's every Thursday.
For the kids, bedtime is still 8 o'clock. I don't care what we celebrating.
Word. That's true.
So we did went to the pool in the neighborhood, came home. All right, yeah. Bean was like, we're not going to see the fireworks? Nah, they start too late.
Oh, that's so mean.
They start too late. We're going to do the whole sparklers like most people do, but you even forgot about that.
Oh, terrible. You know what? I'm going to buy him some bottle rockets and let him set them off inside the house. I worked that night, so I heard fireworks. Didn't get to see any, but it's just fine. Did you see that story about the fireworks display that had a malfunction and it set them all off at once?
Yes. In California, right?
Yeah, and it just all of them went off at once. It was crazy bananas awesome.
Okay.
That was it was awesome, and then it's over. It's the shortest firework.
Everyone was
the shortest firework ever.
Everyone in the video that was awesome. That was the best. Yeah, I saw that. That was crazy.
That was a beautiful thing. So, what's going on? Let's see. We got Legacy Nights.
Legacy Nights return on the 29th, the last Monday of this month.
So that's in 2 weeks.
At the Ice Kitchen, yes.
Right?
We will be back.
We will be there doing the singing.
No, we won't be doing the singing.
Jay will be
doing. Will be there.
Jay will be doing the talking. And I will be doing the try not to fall asleeping.
And the drinking of the coffee.
And the drinking of the café. Because it is delicioso. Only thing is, man, you know what I should do?
I don't know.
I should bring him a can of Bustelo and be like, here.
For what?
Because there's a coffee shop, but he uses his own beans. Would he find that funny or would he be offended?
I really don't know. I really don't know. He'll probably find it funny.
Like if I brought it, I was like, hey, man, could you use my coffee?
Yeah, we were on hiatus for reasons of school and everything that happened with me. I needed some time, but now it's time to get back into things.
Yep. And kids are coming back for school. So it's time to do the thing. Nah, me. So this week we got a couple of things we want to touch on. We want to, how should I say, use our influence. What little it might be.
We have no influence.
Listen,
on anyone,
Jay,
for anything.
I would beg to differ.
Maybe if you beg for influence.
First of all, you got influence on your son.
No, I don't.
Oh, that's why he's wilding out.
That's why he's wilding out. That's exactly why he's wilding out.
Oh, Lord of mercy. Lot of mercy. Brah, brah, brah.
I have no influence on anything
No.
or anyone.
Oh, how dare you. How dare you.
I think if we had influence, this podcast would have a lot more listeners.
Yikes. Man, don't be. You know what, man?
But don't you worry about a thing.
We do. Yo, speaking of influence,
What
how
up?
about them was it 3 earthquakes in like 3
I think
days?
it was 2.
Or 2? I don't know.
It was
I
2
can't-
earthquakes, and then
in like 3 days?
one of them were the tremors that were so big because the earthquake was so big that people thought it was another earthquake. Right? It's like, oh my God, again. It's like, not really. Those are the tremors.
Is it wrong of me that when I saw that they got hit twice, I thought to myself, yes, finally, let's have California wash right into the ocean. Is that
Yeah, of course that's wrong. Because
Is
you got to
that-
think of all the
is
people
that-
that will wash away with them that will die.
they would become Atlanteans? They would be like it'd be like the city of California, Atlanta.
Nah, it was messed up. It's funny. Somebody posted on Twitter, like, oh, when you're in California, and you go through 2 earthquakes, and you start thinking if maybe this is it, and this is it, and God is doing what He's doing, right? And you laugh at it, but you low key in your mind like are you really laughing and are really thinking about it.
You look around and get in your closet, get on your knees and start praying. Lord Jesus. Well, what's funny is that I was listening to a podcast based out of there, and 2 of the hosts were like, they didn't even feel a thing.
Really?
Yeah. They were like, well, we didn't know what was going on.
I saw on holy wow. I saw on Twitter that Derek Minor said he was there at the time.
Right.
And he was like, well, apparently I survived one of the biggest earthquakes in California and I didn't feel anything.
There was some guy riding around with like big subs in his car going, whoa, those things kicked today.
You stupid. Yo,
That's all
this
I'm
just in.
Uh-oh. Beep, 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 beep,
Since
beep,
we're both big baseball fans.
beep, 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 beep.
Um,
On July 8th.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. crushes 29 home runs in the first round of the Derby, breaking Josh Hamilton's single round mark of 28 in 2008.
Wow. Vlad Jr. What a name.
What
Vladimir.
a name for a Latino, right?
Vladimir. Well, that's like I have a manager whose name is Yuri.
I know.
But he's black.
I know. I went to school.
I call
high school.
him the Black Russian.
The Black Russian. I went to school with a Puerto Rican kid who was also named Yuri. I always found that to be strange.
It's like, do I need to call the NSA? Like, do I need to call the FBI?
I always found that to be strange. Like his name was Yuri, and I was.
Yeah, and it was weird. It was weird that his dad's name was Jorge Jimenez, but he sounded like a Bond villain every time I spoke to him. I was like, my dad doesn't sound like that.
Wait a minute.
He kept asking me about nuclear stuff. I was like, I'm just a high school kid.
Talking about that, have you started watching Stranger Things?
No, I've not watched a season.
Are you serious?
I am dead serious. Wow. I have not watched a. And now, listen. At first, it was just because I watched so many things, just trying to get back around to it. Now it's more of like a matter of pride that everybody is like, "Oh my God, Stranger Things," and I'm like, no.
It's pretty good. I like it because of the nostalgia. Like it's not scary.
Now I will not watch it because everyone. Now I'm being contrarian.
Yay, good for you. So it's like
Big word. Big
like
word.
if
big word.
Spielberg and what's that
And
idiot
E.T.?
from Maine?
E.T.
No.
That's where that's his home. That's what people don't know.
No. The
Stephen
idiot from
King?
Maine. Stephen King.
Why is he an idiot for Maine?
Because he says like the dumbest.
He's the
things.
only person
he's
from
from
Maine
Maine.
that we know.
It's like
Unless you're talking about the lobster,
it's like if them two
right?
like got together and put something together like back in the day. When
If a Spielberg movie and a Stephen King short story got together and made a baby, it would be Stranger Things.
It would be Stranger Things.
Oh, okay.
right? So it's I watch it for the nostalgia.
All I know about Stranger Things is that after this season, Netflix put in a rule about smoking
Yeah,
on
they
the
just put
shows.
in a ban about smoking or
That they
vaping
like they have to
in their
they have-
their shows on the Netflix.
right. They have to
shows.
show cause as to why the character has to smoke. And I'm like, really?
But it's
So
only
dumb.
it's only for shows or movies for like that teenage
All right, look.
age.
I hate to burst your bubble, but that's gonna carry to everything because that's how things are. You ban one little thing, next thing you know, they're gonna be coming in here telling us you guys can't smoke, and we're like, we're not even smoking. Well, we just want to make sure. And they're gonna sit a guy there, and we're like, what are you doing here? We're not even big enough for that. Too late. You're on the internet. They're gonna get us. They're gonna get us, Jay. But no, I have not watched. No, the one thing I watched lately has been that Fire and Brimstone show, the Lost Treasures. What is the name of the show? Fire.
Oh, the one on CBS that I told you
Fire
about.
and Ice.
No, Fire and Ice is
It's a dragon
Game
story.
of Thrones.
Fire and Ice, a dragon love story. What was it called
The
again?
Dragon and the Snowman.
How will they make this love work? Yeah, that what's it called? Blood and Bone. Blood and
No, that's a movie with
that's
J.
a
Michael White.
that's a pretty good J. Michael White movie.
It was really dope.
Blood
Blood and Fire. Nope, that's a Salvation Army.
and Treasure, Treasure and Blood.
Hold on, I'm looking for it.
Blood and Guts.
Hold on, I'm looking for it.
Blood and the Red Cross.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blood and the Jamaicans.
Blood and Treasure. You were right.
Oh, Blood and Treasure. I gotta be confident when I say these things.
Yes.
Blood
you
and
did.
Treasure. Yeah, I got to 7 episodes.
I think all they have is 7 episodes.
No, they just dropped the 8th one. It's pretty good. I've really enjoyed it. I was like, yo, this is Indiana Jones and Lara Croft.
I told you that.
I should tell Jay. That's exactly why didn't he sell it to me this way? But that's been kind of the that, and then of course as always I saw Spider-Man. Good flick. I liked it. I liked it a lot, and I liked what they did with. I liked how they did Mysterio. His character, good. Finally another good. I don't even know what Spider-Man has been consistent
With
good,
the villains?
with good villains. I
Well, it's
will
only
say
been
that.
2, right?
That 1 is good, 2 is consistency, my friend. So they've been consistent with the good villains. I saw that movie yesterday. Yesterday, I saw the movie called Yesterday about the Beatles music. The guy
I actually saw that movie.
The guy wakes up and he's the only person that remembers the Beatles music, and so he starts playing whatever. It was really good.
Okay, that's another movie.
No, you're thinking about no. This one just came out like this week, so he didn't see it. Maybe that's why you answered me when I texted you. I was like, oh, this might be a good day movie. You're like, nope, and I was like, dude, because you must have been thinking of the other
I was
movie.
thinking of the other movie.
Oh.
Not gonna do it.
All I got to say is yesterday, all my troubles. Anyway, no, this movie's about a guy who's like wants to be a musician.
I know what you're talking about. I looked it up. The Indian guy, right?
Right. He wants to be a musician. Then he has an accident. He wakes up, and he's the only one that remembers who the Beatles are. And so then he goes on this thing where he quote unquote writes these amazing songs. And it's just him.
And it has Ed Sheeran in it.
It has Ed Sheeran, and it just has him. Basically, it's him remembering these Beatles songs.
Yo, so
it's anyway. The point was, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was really good.
So last night,
Good little date movie. If you do that sort of thing, I don't. I go by myself.
last night, so in case you didn't understand what that was Joaquin saying that
He's
if
lonely.
you're
He's
interested
so lonely.
in going to see a movie with him and you are female and single, he is available to go to the movies with you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But you pay your own ticket. I don't know you. I don't know if I want to invest $13.75 in you. Now, unless you're willing to go out on Tuesday, because then it's only $5.
Then he might splurge.
Then I might kick in a few ducats. I'll go Dutch with you.
But last night, Magda and I on Hulu, we watched The Spy Who Dumped Me.
Yes, I've seen that.
Of course you have.
Shut up.
I had it.
Don't judge me.
I hadn't seen it.
I liked it.
And of course, she hadn't seen it. Yo,
I liked it.
We were cracking up
It was dumb funny.
almost the whole movie.
Yeah.
It was one of those, definitely one of those movies that the jokes were so dumb, like you had to laugh.
Yeah, it was dumb. It was a
And
dumb,
laugh
funny, dumb,
and laugh
funny
and
movie.
laugh. Yeah.
I watched it.
Yeah,
in
I
the movie-
was-
I
I
watched it
was-
in the movie theaters.
I was in tears. The other girl that's in it, the other woman that's in it, I forget she's on.
The girl from SNL.
Right.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
She's hilarious.
I mean,
she for me, she was like, even in the all female Ghostbusters, she was one of the funniest like parts of the.
she was the
of
only
that
funny
movie.
one. If you ask me, she was the only funny one. That and
I don't know. And
Kristen Wiig.
Listen,
Like Kristen Wiig when she was
Right.
fawning over Chris Hemsworth.
yeah, Kristen Wiig was funny. I mean, Jennifer McCarthy was the more of like the straight man.
Right.
I didn't like the other chick. I could have done without her.
I don't even remember who it was. So.
Exactly.
So there you go. But The Spy Who Dumped Me,
Yeah, watch it. It's
Dude.
on Hulu
it's on Hulu.
or Redbox.
Right.
It's like $1.50.
So it was so funny.
Yeah.
We were just like, the kids went,
Dumb funny.
like the kids went to sleep without any problem.
Wow.
Right? So we had
That's
all
'cause
this.
I called them and I said, "You better go to
We
sleep
had
because mommy and daddy need some alone time."
we had all this extra time. So look for a movie. It's like, oh look, there's a comedy. Let's just throw this on. It's probably just
Yeah,
something stupid.
it was.
And it was stupid, but in a good way.
but it was bad, funny, stupid.
It was hilarious.
Yeah,
So if you
that
haven't
was-
seen it, watch it.
Yeah, it was dumb funny. I liked it. But I'm let's like to say I'm a troglodyte. I'm a Philistine.
Nah, the thing is,
I like dumb stuff.
the thing is, right? Like
You guys ever hear what I say? The things I say?
like I was telling Magda the other day, like, we were talking about Adam Sandler because we were talking about the murder mystery movie,
Right.
right? And how all things being not equal, how that guy said that if it had come out in the theater, it might
Right.
have done it might have been his highest grossing movie,
Ever.
right? And I'm like, well, that's the thing. Like Adam Sandler, like movies that come out of his production company, right? You can always count on them to be entertaining, right?
Right.
If you remember,
If
if you remember that you're going to the movies as a distraction or just to be entertained,
Right.
then you're gonna love all movies unless they're like super horribly bad.
Right.
Right, but if
and
you
there's
go
only,
in-
there's only been three times that I've walked out of the movie theater going, ugh. No, that's not true.
Captain Marvel.
You know what? And I won't say Captain Marvel, so I'll say 2 times because as much as I hated that movie, it had some entertaining parts. But Max Payne,
Oh, dude, we
which-
saw Max
which
Payne.
me and you went to go see.
Yeah. Ugh. I agree.
Swordfish
Ah.
with young Hugh Jackman and a Robert Travolta.
Robert Travolta.
John Travolta. Scientology Travolta.
Dude, like all those after Pulp Fiction, when he supposedly made a comeback,
Yeah.
all of his movies have been horrible.
Yeah, he had a couple of them. But anyway, the point is, the point is, like those 2 movies that I can think of.
Yeah, I saw an ad for Swordfish. I think it's on Hulu too the other day, or it's on Netflix or something. I was like,
Right.
Well, this does die.
Yeah, like I'd watch it again just to make fun of it, but
But yo, I have to agree. Like Max Payne was painful.
Yeah, we were
Right,
because we were
especially-
expecting the video game.
Especially since the video games were so good.
Yeah,
Like they did a horrible job with Max Payne.
Horrible. So I mean, there's been some really dumb movies that other people have absolutely hated that I've been like, it was all right. So, for me, that's why I said for me to say a movie is garbage, it's got to be garbage.
It's gotta be
Because I
garbage.
tolerate a lot of garbage. But no, yeah. So yeah, that movie, yeah, if you can catch it because it was. So now since we're talking about movies, let's go ahead and jump into, what was it? Oh, a new trailer a teaser trailer
Teaser.
dropped this week, which is funny because it's been in the midst of, it dropped right in the middle of all this controversy for another movie.
Another property.
So a Disney movie, a trailer for a Disney movie dropped this week while there was a whole lot of brouhaha about the announcement of a casting of another Disney movie, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, same.
How fortuitous. Yeah, today is my word of the day. Toilet paper came in finally, so I had to catch up.
You've been catching up. You've been wiping the slate clean.
Wiping the slate clean. Filling it with new words. Where was I?
Oh man,
What
your
was I
vocabulary right now must be getting astronomical.
Oh, boo. Boo. You know what? After the show's over, that's an hour. No jokes. How dare you? How dare you? Sir.
This whole thing is asinine.
Hey man, I've been working hard for mine. So the thing is I'm a poet, don't even know it. Disney just dropped the trailer for Mulan. Which for those of you that don't remember, was a Disney movie about a Chinese girl who was going to be forced to marry, right, an arranged marriage, and she didn't want to do that, so she runs away, dresses up as a boy, and fights in the Emperor's army. But not the Emperor that got the new groove. That's a totally different.
Completely different story.
Totally different part of the world. And so Disney being, I guess Disney is just bereft of ideas. Oh, you see what I did there? So now Disney's like, hey, we don't have any more stories to tell.
We have no new stories to tell.
So we're just going to make live action movies of, all the old stories we've already told. Now, with that being said, I did enjoy The Jungle Book, and I did enjoy Aladdin. Somebody said, I think, was it you that said they made a Cinderella back in the day?
They made a Cinderella. I have not watched it.
I mean, neither. I didn't even know that they made a live action Cinderella.
Beauty and the Beast.
And they made a Beauty and the Beast, which I never watched it. Rebecca hated it.
Did she?
And she loved the movie, the cartoon movie, the animated movie.
I think it's on Netflix. I'm going to check it out.
But Rebecca hated it. She was like, why? Why did they pick
the chick from Harry Potter?
Hermione
Granger?
Hermione. She can't even sing. She was like upset.
Ooh.
Yeah, word dizzle. And then Aladdin, which Rebecca said she was surprised that I liked.
Really?
Yeah, because they gave Jasmine her own storyline. Where she was like girl power. And I enjoyed it.
But it wasn't like...
I didn't think it was that girl power.
It wasn't girl power. It was more... It was more Jasmine power.
Yeah, it was like, I just want to be what I want to be. I wanna.
So, I hate that I recognize that reference.
So, so anyway, so they dropped Mulan. What'd you think of the trailer?
I loved it for the reasons that people hated it.
Okay. What are the reasons people hated it?
That it doesn't have Mushu.
Mushu pork.
Right. So it doesn't have the dragon.
And they said the dragon's not going to appear in the movie.
Right. And I'm okay with that. Because if you look at it, right, if you look at the trailer, it looks like one of those fantasy kung fu flicks that we like to watch.
Wuxia. A wuxia film.
Right.
That's what it's called. WWXIA.
That's what it looks like. And it's
I'm on fire with the
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, my only complaint was I didn't see Jackie Chan or Jet Li. That was or Donnie Yen. Those three guys I need to see in that movie.
Racist.
How is that racist?
I don't know.
How dare you? Let me actually say something racist first. No, I enjoyed the trailer. I was excited for like a longer form. Was it long form trailer?
Yeah.
Whatever. Like just a more proper trailer. But from what I saw, it was dope. Oh, Donnie Yen and Jet Li are in it. They just didn't show him.
They didn't show him.
Oh, jerks. But it doesn't come out till the spring of 2020. Boo.
So it came out really early with that trailer, then, right?
Yeah, they brought that trailer out in the summer of 2019.
And they're not going to show another one until like February.
Until like February or maybe October when they show the Joker. So Disney's Mulan. Check out the trailer.
Yeah, so a lot of people were hating the
very
fact
dope.
that there was going to be no Mushu, and like something else that wasn't going to be a part of the movie.
They're not gonna. If I remember right, they're not gonna sing the songs.
Right, and I'm all right with that. Right, I'm all right with that because like, Jungle Book live action was with the songs. It was a musical. Aladdin,
Which I loved.
right?
I loved it too.
Remember, the thing with Mulan is that Mulan, if I remember correctly, Mulan was a movie based off
It's like a
like a true story,
like a legend,
or like a Chinese an Asian
a
legend,
legendary true Chinese story.
right? So the thing is that they added all those things and the dragon, of course,
Because it was animated
to
right.
appease like
because it was made for children.
Right? So yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, just like in that movie Book of Life, they made one of the characters Joaquin to appease me.
Yes, exactly like that. Exactly like that.
Exactly like that. I was like, "Don't you dare!
How dare
Don't
you?
you dare!" And
Yeah,
then
you had to do with the accent. How dare
"How
you?
dare you? Is your name Lucy? You're gonna be in trouble."
Let me tell you something.
Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum.
My dad used to talk like that.
See, what was I talking? Oh, yeah, and I heard they weren't gonna. So, I'm fine with it because it looks like it's gonna have like some really dope martial arts action in it.
Yes.
So I will take the martial arts action for the singing.
Over the CGI dragon.
Right. Now, if they made Mushu a talking pig, then that would be hilarious because Mushu pork. Mushu. It all fits in. Disney, call me. I got good ideas.
I got the ideas.
That makes you lots of money. Okay, and so all right, so this was not done on purpose.
Sure it wasn't.
And I just caught this.
Oh no.
So the trailer was Mulan, a movie set in China.
Uh-oh.
Our song of the week is Charade by a Korean American.
You're so dumb.
What? Asian to Asian. Uzuhan dropped this song, was it last week?
Yeah.
Called Charade.
No, yeah, the end of the month. The end of the month. So
Called,
yeah.
last week. So called or the week before, called Charade. No, Charade remix. And as always, we love Uzuhan here at the podcast. So go check out the song. If you don't, you will regret it.
You will regret it.
You will regret it. That's my godfather. So let's see here what we got. All right. Got a couple of things we wanted to kind of talk about here, kind of point out, because they all fit in. Or if they don't fit in, I'm going to shoehorn them all in together to the overall idea of today's topic by Pastor Jae.
Nah, not by Pastor Jae.
Brother Pastor Jae?
You're so stupid.
Brother,
where is that from?
Brother Pastor Apostle Jae? Brother Pastor Prophet Apostle Jae? Apostle Prophet Pastor Jae. Ooh, I like that one. APP.
You down with APP?
The Apostle Pastor Jae. Apostle Pastor Prophet Jae. Remix. J Prophet Pastor. Anyway, so this week, so as you guys know, we're talking about movies, and there's a small little film that's being executively produced by one Martin Scorsese, and being directed by one
Todd
Phillips, and the movie is called Joker. It is a DC film, a WB/DC film. And this week, so for us as fans of DC and Batman and the Joker and all that stuff,
all things DC,
all things DC, we're like excited because we're like, oh man, he's gonna tell the Joker story. Now the Joker's, for those that might not know, there was a graphic novel called Killing Joke that kind of gave Joker some backstory.
Right.
But the Joker traditionally
Don't watch the movie.
The Joker traditionally, there's like one part that needs to be cut out, and the movie's fine. You know what I'm saying? We'll get to that later. We'll get that to some other time. The Joker traditionally has no backstory. He just kind of
Appears.
shows up. He was the Red Hood at one point, but then, so his story has been very fluid, right? As far as where does this guy come from? Even in the movies, right? With Batman in 1989, his story is that he's he's like one of a gangster.
It was a goon, which
Right,
that
a
was
goon.
like more loosely taken from like the Killing Joke story, right? Because he was.
Well, in the Killing Joke, remember he was a failed comic.
I know, but before he became the Red Hood, he was a part of the Red Hood gang, right? So he was just like a regular bum.
You're a bum. He'll be nothing but a bum. And then, of course, you got Heath Ledger's Joker, which had no backstory, right? He told the same. He told two stories, right? How he got his scars, but they were two completely different.
Completely
stories.
different. Which, fun fact, the "Why So Serious" is not a Joker quote. It's his father's quote.
Whose father's?
The Joker's father.
The Joker's father.
When he in his story
correct.
that he said how he got the scars,
Yeah.
it was his dad that
That's
asked
right.
him why so serious.
Why so serious?
And a lot of people attribute that to him. Like even like all the merchandising and everything. It's like, oh,
Right.
Joker, why so serious?
Right.
Not a Joker quote.
Still a dope line.
He quoted
though.
as the whole
Still a dope line.
the whole
though,
monologue
right?
was
Scares
dope.
me. I'm not serious. So Todd Phillips came out this week, and so anyway, so we give you that backstory because
Another fun fact
what?
that Todd Phillips is known for his comedies.
Yes,
Right? He's known for the Hangover movies.
he did a small trilogy called The Hangovers.
Right? Which were like, did he do all of them?
He did all of them.
All right.
yes.
So, if you've seen The Hangover, then you know what kind of
Humor.
then you're gonna know what kind of humor he has, but also you'll know what kind of movie the Joker is not gonna be like.
Right, because you have a guy named Scorsese that I believe has been an influence in how this movie.
Right.
And actually, Scorsese's known for what? His kind of gritty gangster movies. With Mean Streets is on Netflix, by the way,
Oh, nice.
which I haven't seen, so I need to go.
What
I
about
need to go
Gangs in
watch.
New York?
I've seen that movie. It's pretty good. I liked it. I think it. I don't know if it's on Netflix.
I'll have to look for it.
It might.
I've
You
been
know
wanting
what?
to watch it.
It might be because Scorsese. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. This is an aside, but
Yeah,
Scorsese.
this is the squirrel moment.
Scorsese is dropping a Netflix movie called The Irishman. So they might be.
Ooh.
So they might.
I forgot about
so
the
they
Irishman.
might be. So they might be dropping.
Scorsese's movies.
Scorsese's movies, because that taxi
Taxi
drivers
Driver?
on there. I'm about to say Mean Girls. Mean Girls of the Streets. No, Mean Streets. So it might be on there. Ooh, that'd be a good thing. Find all the Scorsese movies and watch them all and be disturbed. So Todd Phillips. Anyway, so back to the point. So Todd Phillips was talking about how, he's anticipating a backlash from the comic book fans because the Joker movie is going to be a completely original story
Yo.
on how this guy becomes the Joker, right? Not about, him and getting ready to fight Batman and Batman shows up, but how he becomes the Joker. So what you think about that, Jay?
I love it. I love the idea. I love the fact that this guy is not going to be influenced by any Joker story that we know or are familiar with.
Right.
Right? Because it'll be a fresh take through fresh eyes. Right? Because that's the thing. Right? If you've listened to this podcast long enough, that you know that between the two of us, I lean more towards the purist end.
Right.
Of like comic books and comic book movies.
Right. I'm the normie. He's the
right. I'm not as extreme as a lot of people out there,
Right.
but I like to see at least an echo of like the actual canon.
Right.
But so I would rather see somebody with some fresh eyes, give his take, his story, right? Then see somebody compromise the actual stories or canon of the written work, right? Of the
Right.
writ work to make something to commercialize it,
Right.
right? Like what Whedon did to Justice League,
Right.
right? I would rather not
Right.
get that and get something new and fresh
Right.
because it's like I mean it's the equivalent of when they write new stories. Like right now, on my lunch break today, I was reading The White Knight. It's like a story of the Joker like becoming healed. Like he's healed, he's sane.
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
he's,
yeah,
and,
yeah.
you know, and he's good. And Batman,
Is that on Universe?
I don't.
I haven't seen it.
No, it's not. It's not. It's
I
not.
got a ton of
It's-
stuff to
no,
read
no,
on
it's,
Universe.
it's
Never
on.
mind.
It's on another website, and Batman is like trying to prove that he's faking it, right? And so he's still like trying to get at him, but now Batman is actually the bad guy,
Right.
So it's like it's so dope. So it's like that. Like people do have different ideas and different takes on like was still using the primary people,
Right.
right? But
The
they'll have
primary
their own
character.
stories and whatever. So it's
Right.
like you buy that comic, you read that comic, you watch this movie. I'm excited for it. Like I'm here for it.
Yeah,
I'm here for it even more now because remember you told me before that him taking like parts of like Long Halloween and
Potentially.
right
No.
for
No,
Matt Reeves.
No, that's for Matt
No,
Reeves,
for Matt
the
Reeves'
Batman,
Batman.
which is fine because that'll give us that's a different.
Right, but
thing.
but like the purist in me is like, oh, why are you mixing up all these different stories? Right,
Right.
But yeah.
Well,
when I
right.
read that Todd Phillips, completely fresh eyes, completely fresh, he's no influence at all. I'm like, dope, yo, I'm here for that.
Right.
I mean, I was already here for that.
Yeah,
for the movie.
because that first trailer,
Like, that trailer
was
forget about it.
bananas. But
like now,
yeah. Well, yeah, and especially, and what's great, especially because you don't have. I don't think you have the history story wise with this character, with the Joker character.
right.
Excuse me, like you do with, a Batman or a Superman or even like an Aquaman or Wonder Woman, which they did really great movies with those guys. Shazam, they did a really great job of kind of telling those stories, but you have a baggage with those stories, especially like an Aquaman, right? Because you completely change the character,
Right.
You make him, and I was not Samoan, but
No, Samoan.
like Hawaiian, Polynesian, or whatever it
Yeah.
is, right? South Pacific Islander, and that could have gone very wrong. But they did a great story with it. So what I was telling Jay, and the reason I say it all ties into kind of what we're talking about is because the exciting thing is, so for those of you that don't know, like Harley Quinn, right? Harley Quinn is one of the most popular DC characters right now. But what people don't know is that Harley Quinn was not a comic book character.
Not at all.
She showed up in Batman the Animated Series. And so she shows up in Batman the Animated Series, and she proved to be so popular that DC inserted her
Into the Joker mythos.
into the Joker mythos, into the Joker Batman. So they took the cartoon Harley Quinn and put her in the comics. Now most people are, Harley Quinn, she's so awesome. Well, she started in Batman the Animated Series, not in the comics. So
right.
So
That
my hope
she's
is
completely created for the cartoon.
right. So my hope is I would hope, because I think it would be very cool if that with this original story that they're coming up with for the Joker, if it's good enough, right, and it does well enough
That it becomes canon.
that they somehow include it at some point into the comic book. That would be cool.
That'd be dope.
I think that would be real dope.
Especially since now it seems that DC is doing another restructuring.
Right. Release the Snyder Cut.
Right. Right. They're doing another restructuring of their books. So that'll be dope. Also,
And they're dropping it in October.
oh
which
yeah,
is award season.
that too. But also, there's supposed to be like a young Bruce Wayne in the Joker movie.
So in the trailer, the little boy behind the
that he
gate
pushed-
that he does a smile.
right.
Supposedly that's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Supposedly that's a young Bruce Wayne.
I mean, it's interesting to see
The huge age gap.
What if in this world he kills Bruce and we get Thomas Wayne as Batman?
Right? The huge age gap.
We get the
The huge
Flashpoint
age
Batman.
gap between the two.
Yeah,
Right?
but it's not supposed to be. Once again, it's not necessarily supposed to be a spin-off to anything.
I think I read
It's not supposed. It doesn't tie into the Batman.
I think I read or I heard somewhere that it will. But no one's saying anything.
I don't see it. But I mean, who
I don't
knows?
either. That all of them. That I it
Somewhere.
was in a video. It was in a video
Somewhere
on
out
comicbook.com, I believe, where somebody alluded to the fact that the buzz, right? That they have sources that are saying that the Joker, the Batman, and Birds of Prey will tie up.
That's right, because Birds of Prey comes out next year, I think.
Right. Right.
Huh.
They're alluding to that. I hope not.
That would be
Right. I hope not. I hope that the Joker stays as a standalone.
right.
Right.
Now, if they attach the Birds of Prey and the Batman, would be interesting. If depending on how the movies come out,
I'm all for it.
that would be very
Especially
interesting.
with Gunn doing Suicide 2.0 or 1.1.
Suicide 2.0,
Suicide Squad 2.0.
1.5. No,
Right.
1.5 would
1.
be the extended
right.
edition. so Suicide 2.0. Yeah. So sorry, we
Yeah,
nerded out
and
a
I
little
did confirm. I'll send you the link. I did confirm that Idris will not be Deadshot.
Yeah, I saw that. I had also seen that at some point
Yeah?
somewhere.
He will not be Deadshot. They're not going to bring Deadshot back. He'll be someone else, but they're not saying who it is.
Deadshot. That guy Deadshotted. Ooh, I can't. He'll be
Bronze Tiger.
King Shark.
Bronze Tiger.
Bronze Tiger.
Bronze Tiger was a part of Task Force X.
I know. I just thought it was funny. He'll be, what's the Russian guy? I can't think of his name.
Dude, Bronze Tiger.
Oh, he'll be Iron Jaw. That'd be a completely new character. So yeah. So hopefully, anyway. So the point was that Joker's coming out, and we hope that I hope that it's so good, and becomes so popular that it actually influences the comic books. That would be awesome. Which leads us to this next story.
Yeah, because, right now with the whole DC Black series and stuff, where they're trying to, it looks like DC Comics is trying to give the Joker finally a backstory,
Oh, okay.
right? So, like right now they have like 3 separate Jokers. That fiasco that they created
Okay.
with the New 52.
Right.
So now they're trying to whittle it down,
Trying to figure it out.
to one and give him a backstory. So if that is so successful, right? Especially that it's coming out during right during Oscar season, right? So it'll probably be like the first comic book related movie that will win like Best Picture award for Joaquin Phoenix.
Now you're reaching, but
For Best Actor.
for best, no.
Why not?
Yeah. No,
Why not?
No,
he's
him,
won it before.
Him best actor.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I thought
saying.
you were saying best picture.
No, I said
I was like,
best
now you're reaching. Best actor.
Best Actor for Joaquin Phoenix.
For Joaquin
again.
Phoenix. And then I would win twice. If his name is Joaquin, my name is Joaquin, that means I can steal his Oscar and claim it's mine.
Not only that, but hey, another fun fact.
He Boricua like
He's
me.
Boricua.
He a Puerto Rican like me.
Joaquin Phoenix is Puerto Rican.
I'll
Don't
go-
believe me?
Listen.
Google that.
The moment he wins, I'm gonna go straight to the office and change my name. But I'll spell it like
With
PHOE
two E's.
and E X.
No, it'll
With
be
the-
PHOENICS.
I'll be like Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix. It's Phoenix. How many times I got to tell you it's Phoenix? Yeah. No one likes you guys. That's terrible.
Yeah, so the hope is
All I'm
that
saying.
this movie will be so good that it will influence Jim Lee and the rest of them over at DC Comics and
Yeah.
make it canon.
And then we get the Joker we deserve. Nah, me.
The Puerto Rican Joker.
It'll be the Oh man, why Puerto Rican gotta be criminal?
Yo, right? Because it's a Puerto Rican Joker in the movie. It's a Puerto Rican Deathstroke on Titans.
On Titans, yo, we killing it as bad guys.
Literally.
Yo, you ain't got nothing on us.
What else? Something else. It was something else. It was Puerto Rican something else.
Was there not? All right,
No remember.
it doesn't matter. So on our our trail here of influence. There was this article that came out this week, and this kind of jumps right into what Apostle Prophet Pastor Jay brought up. So there's this ice cream truck out in Los Angeles, and so the founder of this ice cream truck got so fed up with these so-called influencers,
Social media influencers.
like these so-called social media influencers, asking him for free ice cream. Because hey man, if you give me a free ice cream, I'll
take a video and mention
I'll
it.
spotlight it on my Instagram feed, and you get like all these millions and millions of like views, man, as advertisement. And so he got so fed up with people asking for free ice cream that he said, he came out and he said, look, if you're a social media influencer, you're going to pay double for this ice cream. Right? The ice cream is $4. And he's like, these people want a free ice cream. It's $4. So you know what? You can pay $8. So if you show up here and talk about you're an influencer, you paid $8. I thought that was hilarious.
And he has his own hashtag, influencers are gross.
Influencers are gross. And he talks like he's a business. And now this idea of influencers being on the news because they want free stuff, it's been showing up more and more. About a year or so ago, there was like a hotel out in Europe that got into a little bit of a spat with an influencer who was like, hey, I'm going to be up in your way. Let me stay in your hotel, and I'll post it out, tweet it, and Instagram it out to all my millions of followers, and give you some great advertisement. And the hotel was like, yeah, no. And it was like, well, but I can get you all this. I can get you all this like free advertisement, right? Whatever it is. They're like, yeah, we prefer money. It's basically. I mean, that's not how they said it, but that's what they were saying.
But it's a real thing, though, right? Like there are a lot of businesses and companies out there, corporations, right, that actually do those things.
Correct.
Right? That search for influencers and they shower them with gifts and freebies and everything.
So they shout out their product. What's funny is this guy calls that out too, though, because he's like, you can buy a ton of followers and you can buy a bunch of likes.
Yeah.
So how do I know that the stuff, you're saying, it got 10 million views, but how do I know you didn't buy those 10 million views?
They're not bots. Right? It's funny, when we were in Toronto.
Yeah, they're not bot, but they're bot. They're bot.
When we were in Toronto, I went to that store, OD Toronto.
Right.
It's like the culture shop of Toronto.
Right.
And,
shout out.
And
10% off on shoes, bro. Not asking for free.
And I was talking to one of the co-owners, Shah, and he was telling me the very same thing. Like how he hates when these people come into his store claiming to be quote unquote influencers and trying to get free stuff. Right. And it was the same thing. They come in here and they show me their Instagram accounts and show me their number of followers. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I don't care. I'm not impressed with that. Right? Like I don't right. And they try to convince him to give him free stuff, and they'll take pictures with him and whatever. And he's like, yeah, okay, cool, dope, thanks. Yeah. Those sneakers are still $600. That line is 40 people long. You still have to get to the back of the line. I don't care who the hell you are, right? He said, and it's funny. And he said that. He said, well, I feel like the next influencer that comes in here, I'm gonna charge him double to come up with some BS like that, right? I'm just like, I'm tired of that. Like, this stuff costs me money.
Yeah, and they want it for free, which leads us into
Dun, dun, dun. Hold on. Before we do that, there's a screenshot of a DM that he got, the ice cream guy. It says, "We love your food truck and think it's a perfect fit with our brand." Like, he blasted this on Instagram. He didn't write. He didn't blast who sent it.
whose it was. I appreciate.
Would
that,
you
bro.
be interested in joining us for the event? Influencer marketing is huge right now. Every time I read that, or I hear it, huge right now, it makes me think of Zoolander. And we estimate there will be a total social media following of over 10 million at the event. It's a fantastic way to reach new audiences and gain exposure for CVT soft serve. Please let me know if you're interested or have any questions. And he wrote on top of it, hard pass.
Right.
Like, it's, I don't understand it. I don't understand how, if you're such an influencer, how that translates to you. I'm entitled to get all this free stuff.
Right. Because it's not about a partnership.
Right.
Where it's like, hey, I'll cover this much, you cover this, and we'll split the profits or whatever. It's you give me something for nothing. So that leads us into the topic. What's the topic today, Jay?
Who influences the influencers?
Ah, you see, it was a theme.
Who influences the influencers? Now that got me thinking, because I was having a conversation with PJ Thompson and about influencers, and of course, what is it? What's my new title?
Apostle, Prophet, Pastor Jay.
Apostle, Prophet, Pastor, as that guy, right? We tend to see a message in everything.
And everything.
Right?
Oh, unfortunate. Yes, and everything.
Right. So that got me into thinking, like, who influences the influencers? Got me into thinking about, like, first century Christians, like about the disciples, about Paul.
Right. Who influenced them?
Right.
Who did they Snapchat
Paul
with?
specifically. Like, if you can imagine, if the Apostle Paul were alive now, would he have been a televangelist? Would he have been a prosperity preacher? Would he have been a social media influencer, right? Or would he have still been exactly the same?
Right.
So it got me to thinking
itinerant preacher.
of the time that he was in Athens,
Right.
with the unknown God, right? He said that when he walked into Athens, if you read in Acts chapter 17, verses 16 to the end of the chapter, which is verse 34, right? That when he walked into Athens, he saw that there were myriad gods, right?
Ooh.
Everywhere he looked, there was a different God
many.
for everything, and it saddened him.
Right.
It said that it saddened him. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to be that guy right now. And that made me think of the influencers. The influencers are the modern day idols. They set themselves up as modern day idols, right? If you think of the Fire Fest.
That's the difference. They set themselves up.
Well,
ain't nobody said sometimes, but ain't nobody
they
set
get
them
set up too, because they do the videos, they work according to them, quote unquote, work hard at it.
Yeah.
But the people that follow them and put them up on that pedestal, right? They do it for them as well.
Right.
So the deal is right, Fire Fest. Right? Fire Fest. Have you seen any of the documentaries?
No.
All right, so I've seen them both. I've seen them both. And the dude could sell you
Was it he could sell an ice box to an Eskimo?
He could sell an icebox to an Eskimo, right? He could sell a fire extinguisher to the devil. But the deal is that eternal flames, fire extinguisher.
No, I get it. I'm just giving you the side
double eye. Right? But listen, right? He had this whole plan, right? And he was able to convince Ja Rule to be in on the entire plan.
Right, because he wanted to be relevant. Ain't nobody heard from him.
And he his ideas, super marketable ideas. And I
Right.
don't know how he had the influence that he had over the celebrities, but son, the minute he had, I think it was Kylie Jenner, one of those Jenner sisters,
Right.
to post the orange square and write, "Oh, Firefest, see you there." Like that's what through this idea turned this from an idea to like a reality,
A
like
half-baked
super
idea.
fast,
Right.
Because the minute that she posted that on her Instagram page, that's when all these people started following. That's when people started buying plane tickets before there were even any pictures
Right.
of anything
Or
on
lineup or
on
anything.
the island. Before there was any lineup of artists, just because she posted about it, people started buying plane tickets. People were like using their life savings to buy these plane tickets to this festival that the only evidence of it was an orange square
Right.
on social media, right? Ridiculous power, ridiculous power, and it just got me into thinking how a couple of months ago we covered it on the podcast where Barna did that survey, and a lot of the millennials feel that evangelism is wrong,
Right.
right? And I was reading on Twitter how because of the whole this is probably going to piss you off, equating the immigration issue in Texas in the
Right. South of the border.
right, but equating the immigration issue coming into the country, equating that to missionaries, right? Like it was ridiculous.
Okay.
Right? Saying, oh, well, if the United States has a problem with people like coming into the country illegally, then they need to call back all of their missionaries. And I was like, wait, what?
Those people get visas.
They get visas,
Passports.
the passports, the laws, all that,
Yeah,
right?
they're not sneaking in.
But the thing is that a lot of people
I'm calm.
and a lot of people that we know and a lot of people that I know like got sucked right in. Right? They got caught right up. They got caught right up with it. Yeah. I mean, I'm talking about Christians.
Right.
I'm talking about evangelists. I'm talking about artists. Saw this tweet and got caught right up into it, saying, "Yeah, we need to pull back all the missionaries because that's the same thing." Right? And it just got me into thinking, right? If the Apostle Paul, right, if his time in Athens, where he saw all of the idols, right?
Correct.
This idol, that idol, that idol, that idol, and then the empty pedestal for the unknown idol, right? Who influences the influencers? Paul could have very well set himself up, and that's what I feel that many are doing now, because I run into a lot of believers,
Right.
who will tell you that evangelism is wrong, right? But aspire to be a social media influencer. Right? So they can't tell you about Jesus, but they'll tell you about
Them new kicks.
the new, right? The new kicks, the new whatever it is, right? Insert item here. But they won't tell you about Jesus because that's wrong.
Right.
And, so as a believer, right? I'm asking the question as a believer and as Christians, right? Who influences the influencers, right? What are you influenced by, right? We can ask the question of, or bring that under the same banner of give to Caesar what is Caesar's and give to God what is God's, right? The same banner of you cannot serve God and mammon, right? Because a lot of people equate mammon with just money, but mammon is the god of the culture, the god of the things of this earth, the god of the things of this world, right? So as a believer, right, why is it more important to you to be a social media influencer and say, well, I just wanted to see that I'm a cool Christian? No, that is not scriptural.
Right. Jesus never called you to be a cool Christian.
There was nothing cool about Jesus.
Jesus wasn't cool himself. Ugh.
There was nothing cool about
He
Jesus.
was lame.
That's why he was persecuted so
That's why
much.
he was awesome.
That's why in the Beatitudes he says, blessed are those.
are the poor.
Right?
Blessed.
We need to do an episode just on the Beatitudes.
We're gonna do the Beatitudes, the Joaquin version. Yeah, because it's like blessed are the meek,
Right.
Blessed, right, all this stuff. Blessed are the peaceful.
Right.
So,
But
yes.
blessed are they who are persecuted and reviled for my name's sake. Right. There is nothing
Ooh.
cool about that.
About that.
Right. There is nowhere does Jesus say, "Hey, blessed are the cool guys, are the cool Christians
Right.
who can like be in the mainstream and do things for the world and then come back to the church and do things for the
Right.
church." Nowhere. Jesus said, "Blessed are those who are persecuted and reviled for my name's sake."
Yeah, I think that I'll tell you who.
Oh, sorry. Even
go
more.
ahead.
He says, if they did it to me, if they persecuted me, how much more will they
they're gonna do it to
persecute
you.
you? Get out of here.
Look, I know who influences the influencer. So I'm gonna tell you who doesn't influence them. Jesus doesn't.
Jesus
influence-
does it.
Jesus doesn't influence them. No, but I think what it is that we've been conditioned. I think to a lot of us. I know, and I'm gonna say this. I can say this with confidence that me and you have fallen into this at times, right?
Right.
Where what happens is we hear an idea or we hear a thought that we like, but because we're hearing it from a Christian, we immediately put biblical weight to it,
Yeah.
even though it might not have any real biblical weight.
Or even some,
Do you understand what I'm saying? So-
even
so
some
my
things that are taken from the Bible, right?
And-
And if they're repeated by the right people,
Right.
it automatically it turns into like
Right, and then it gets
the next big thing within
right,
the church.
and it gets bastardized, right?
Right.
Because it gets so an example.
The prayer of Jabez.
And
Sorry.
a prayer Jabez could be one, right? But another idea is like, this might be a little controversial.
That never stopped us before.
The building's not a church. We're the church,
Right.
right? Right. So while yes, you are correct. The Bible says that we are the church, the body. We're the body. The church is the body of Christ. But
Yes.
people say that as an excuse not to go to church,
Right. Not
because or not to fellowship because it's in a building.
Right.
I don't need to go to a building to fellowship with the body because that's not the church. I'm the church. Yet when you say to them, well, Hebrews says, do not forsake
Mm-hmm. The fellowship of the
the
saints.
fellowship of the saints, then it's like, oh, well, if I talk to my boy and we'll pray on FaceTime so that we're fellowshipping.
Yeah. No.
So what's influencing them? Is it scripture? Is it the word? Or right? It's what? It's that we and this is something. It's funny we keep coming back to this because this is something Angel says to us 9 times out of 10. Right? And I don't mean that in a bad way, right? But he says what? He says we get so caught up in other people's experiences and other people's interpretations. And so we don't take the time to read scripture ourselves and see what it is that God is trying to tell us. Because now Todd White
Right.
speaks in front of thousands daily, probably, right?
Yeah.
Let's say weekly, just so that we don't make him too tired. Weekly, he speaks in front of thousands,
Okay.
right? I would say he's an influencer,
Right.
but who does he listen to?
He listens to God.
He listens to God. And how do we know he listens to God? Not just because he tells us, but because even in the videos and even in the behind the scenes, whenever you hear him talking, or when we heard him talk when we went to his event, what did we see? What did he talk about? He talked about that connection with Jesus.
Not only that, but he doesn't do his own. He doesn't run his own Instagram.
He doesn't run his own Instagram. I do that. Sorry for it being so bad. No, but that's the point. But forget the Instagram thing. It's just even the life thing, right? He's not pursuing the Instagram thing. He doesn't care about that because his wanting to influence is not through media. It's not through social media. He wants to influence in a more personal way, and I think that part of the reason a lot of these Christians also just want to do through social media, because guess what? If me or you say something to them and they don't like it, they can block us. They don't have to deal with it, right? They don't have to touch the leper.
Right.
All they got to do is tweet, hey, you should give to this organization for the leper.
Right.
I'm influencing.
The thing also is
None of that's bad. You should give to organizations that work.
right.
Help
The
lepers.
thing also is that I believe that secularism, right, or humanism has infiltrated the church so much, right? As far as the next generation, right? The generation after us, right? They've humanized so much of Scripture and so
Right.
much of God, right?
Right.
That they it's something else we keep going back to, that they don't really see or understand or even feel the sanctity of Scripture,
Right.
right? The sanctity of having real relationship with Jesus, right? It's
Right.
just like another thing.
Well, he's
Right.
my homeboy.
Right, yeah,
'Cause
right.
that came out when we were right at the tail end of our teenage
Right.
years.
It's just like it's just another thing. It's like when I was younger and we used to evangelize in the projects,
Right.
right? And we used to do it for the young people, right? To try to bring the young people to church. And we would knock on doors and they had a big bumper sticker on the door, like, I'm a Catholic. Everyone in this house is Catholic. I'm a Catholic because my mother was Catholic, or my parents were Catholic, and their parents before them were Catholic. And I'm like,
That's a big bumper sticker.
right? It was like little words, right? And then you open the door, and then the kids, right? Oh no, we just want to see if you have any teenagers in the house, blah, blah, blah. And when the teenagers are like, oh no, but we're Catholic. And I'm like, yeah, well, I know your door is Catholic, right? Because
Right.
it's got the sticker on it.
Proudly
but-
proclaims it.
right? But are you really Catholic? Right? Like, how many, do you go to church?
Yeah.
Do which Catholic church do you go to? Because I know
How many masses do you attend?
a lot of people in the Catholic Church.
There's one across the
right?
street.
And they would tell me, oh no, well, my parents are Catholic, so I say I'm Catholic because they're Catholic.
Right.
It's like, do you go to church with them? It's like they don't even go to
They
church.
don't go to
right?
church. Do you want to go to church?
They don't go to church. All right, so how about this? How about you stay a Catholic, but you come to church with us?
Word.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of
Boom,
these kids now, because they're so humanist in their way of thinking,
Right.
And the way they see and they filter their faith is through humanism rather than through Scripture,
Right.
It's almost like they're believers just because, right?
Right.
It's just another thing they are. I'm
Well,
a believer the way I'm a Puerto Rican. Right,
Yeah.
I don't go to
spicy.
I don't go to Puerto Rican church. I don't go whatever. Right, so
Right.
it's just
Is there-
another thing that I am. Right, so there's no weight to their faith.
Right. It's like another tattoo, right? So I got the Puerto Rican flag tattoo on my right forearm, and I got whatever scripture I think is dope on my left forearm. And so that
And you don't know Bible, and you don't know anything about Puerto Rico.
and you don't know anything. You wear the clothes. You know what? It's like these fake Ricans. Oh, here we go. You ready?
Here we
I'm about
go.
to take pot shots. You ready? And I think this is how it's gonna have to end. It's now, and I say this because it's a joke, even within the Puerto Rican community.
Correct.
The Puerto Ricans like myself who were born on the island. Now, I didn't grow up on the island, but I was born on the island, so I have the Made in Puerto Rico tag. But the Puerto Rican,
I have more years living on the island than
but
you do.
Jay's had more years living on the island than I have, but he was born on the island of Manhattan. So, within Puerto Ricans, right? The Puerto Ricans from the island, don't always view Puerto Ricans that were born in the United States as Puerto Ricans. Why? Because they don't speak the language. They've never been to the island. They've never even visited. They don't speak the language. But what do? They cover themselves in the flag. Right? So the joke is, they'll wear the hat, the T-shirt, the shoes, the shorts, the shirt. I think there's a picture of a guy wearing all that clothing, and he's like, "Yo, I'm Puerto Rican," and then it's like, "Oh," and then you speak to him in Spanish. "Oh, no, I don't speak Spanish." "Oh, when was the last time you've been to the island?" "Oh, no, I've never been to the island. I've lived here my whole life."
Right.
All right, so you
See,
ready?
like
you ready?
The non-Spanish doesn't bother me as much anymore.
No. So they don't speak the language.
Right.
They-
there it is. Here it comes. Go ahead.
They don't speak the language. They dress in clothes because they want you to think they want to say, "Hey, I am Puerto Rican, but I don't speak the language. I don't know the culture. But I'm going to wear the symbols so that you will believe me and will think that I'm a Christian." So what is it that a lot of people do today? They don't speak the culture of the church.
They don't know the culture of the church. They don't speak the
They don't
language of the
speak the
church.
culture of the word. They don't know the culture of the church. But what do? They wear the garments because they want you to think at least that, hey, well, I am a Christian. I am, because why? Because I've got tattoos. Because I tell you, Jesus loves you. Jesus is love, bro.
Oh, I wear the Jesus is love T-shirt. I'm cool.
I wear the Jesus is love T-shirts. Oh, I put John 3:16 as part of my tag on my Instagram, right? Because and I put God always. God always. But when when we ask you about what does it mean to be a Christian, a believer, what's the answer? Well, they don't know. They just spit out what? They spit out whatever they've been told. Just like a lot of these kids, these Puerto Rican kids that are born here that have never even been to the island, when they talk about Puerto Rico, what are they spitting out? They're only spitting out the things their parents have told them.
Right.
There's
no personal
connection. There's no personal connection to the island. No personal connection to Jesus. So you're not influencing anybody, but you've been influenced.
But you're being influenced, and you're being influenced
in
by
the wrong direction.
Non-Jesus
Not
things.
one direction, but the wrong direction.
Now, just to clarify, that was not a shot.
No, it's not a shot at Puerto Ricans.
Not a.
Oh,
you could
that was a shot at Puerto Ricans.
You can take shots at Puerto Ricans anytime we want. That was not a shot at the God always people.
Oh no, it wasn't. I didn't even think. I didn't even think about that. Because if it was a shot at God always people, I would have mentioned them.
Right. We would have made it clear. Not a shot, because those are our people.
Those are our friends. Yes.
But because they're our people, we feel comfortable in using them as an example. But yeah. So who influences an influencer? We're not saying, now check it. It's not being an influencer is bad, right? But make sure that if you are an influencer, right, that you are influencing people towards the kingdom, right? Don't look to be a cool Christian. Just look to be a follower of Christ. Just be a Christian.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're not cool, then you're not cool.
Let the chips fall where they may.
Right? And that's it. I was talking to someone, and I was telling them, they were asking me, how is it that that your numbers, your social media numbers are so low when you know everybody. Like everybody that I talk to knows who Jay is. This as far as as far as CHH is concerned, right? Everybody who I talk to, they know who you are. They know, like, why are your social media numbers so low? Why are you not out there? Like, because I don't care.
Right, because I'm not pushing who I know.
I don't care. That stuff isn't important to me. I'm a 45-year-old man. I don't care about none of that.
Right. So that's it. Don't care. No. That's the thing.
Oh, yuck. Sorry.
Who do we influence? How do we influence? Well,
who are we influenced by?
First is who are we influenced by? And we are influenced by Jesus. And that's it. That's it. We're done. Boom. It's a wrap.
Dale.
Boricua. Anyway, thanks for joining us. We will see you next week. As always, I'm Joaquin.
And I'm still Jay.
Until next week. Peace.
Thanks for listening. Remember to go to theoverflowpodcast.com to subscribe to the podcast on all streaming platforms and catch up on all the links of the week. And don't forget to follow our playlist on Spotify.